Is that a Tellius map? That's crazy.
New heroes will join us from the Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn.
Oh, for God's sake.
Introduce them now.
Did they really do Attuned Micaiah?
Leonardo's a good friend. Together, we can get through anything.
First is Edward. Edward grew up on the streets of Navasa.
I'm gonna uninstall. I'm gonna uninstall. I can't do it.
It appears he's a talented
I
swordsman.
can't do it. I'm gonna uninstall. I'm uninstalling the game.
Flip side, he gives his partner and
I'm gonna uninstall the game.
Nothing
I
but
can't do it again. I'm not strong enough, bro.
Me too.
I ain't strong enough, bro.
My utmost desire would be to live a peaceful life in
It's the
Dayan.
Dawn Brigade.
Leonardo is joining us too. A noble from the outskirts of Dayan, Leonardo was left utterly alone due to the
Leo looks good.
But that's when he first met Edward.
I know.
And now he contributes his archery skills to the Dawn Brigade.
You
I
won't
have
get away.
high expectations of these two besties. Don't you?
Besties.
I am sorry for nothing. I regret nothing.
GHB.
And who do we have here?
We hate him, by the way.
It's Jared!
We all hate
As
Jared.
general of the Navasa Occupational Army in Benyon, Jared has imposed a ruthless rule over the people of Dayan.
He's gotta be a
He's
GHB, right?
terrifying and persistent man who works to corner the Dawn Brigade.
A new weapon, a new me.
Are they doing double attuned?
Sothe, a thief from Navasa,
Or is he a
making
rearm?
as a rearmed hero.
Yes, a new dagger. Finally. My God. It's been 8 billion years. That's crazy.
Bro's busy with his one-of-a-kind special, Bane.
Oh, the color green brings me so much comfort.
Does it? It doesn't bring me comfort at all.
Last but not least is Attuned Hero Micaiah.
It's gonna be better Brave Micaiah.
Striking green coat this time. Wait, is she matching Sothe?
It's gonna be better Brave Micaiah, bro.
Aww.
Oh, God.
The Attuned Micaiah and Rearmed Sothe's
Yeah.
new hero summoning
Yeah.
event starts on June 7th.
Yeah,
After
okay.
you clear his grand hero battle, Jared will join your barracks.
Hey everybody, welcome back. So this happened. This happened. And I'm gonna try and salvage from footage of my initial discovery of this banner. I was live, so I mean, if you want to go see the VOD, you could do that. That would also be fine if you wanted. My recordings stopped for what is most of the FEH channel, and then this entire banner thoughts. So I'm gonna try and go back and I guess more concisely put together my thoughts, which maybe people would like more. I don't know. But there will be a separate FEH channel video coming soon with my thoughts on it. So look forward to that if you are inclined. Presently, yeah, that happened. Which I figured that they were gonna do some kind of like Micaiah alt, and I kind of figured it would be an attuned Micaiah, if not a rearmed Micaiah, like, or just whatever new hero type they cook up later this fall. And that's mainly because Legendary Micaiah is getting remixed, right? And I think it's like in January or something, whenever she gets a rerun next. So I knew it was coming. I didn't think it would be 6 months ahead of schedule. But here we are. And so let's just step through it, I guess. And I'll pause as needed. I think the banner in general is like pretty good.
Leonardo's a good friend. Together, we can
I mean, if it's a Dawn Brigade banner you wanted, there's one particular Dawn Brigade member missing. Well, that is what it is. So your God Sword is here in Edward fashion. All right. This is him. He's here. He's got godlike reflexes. He's got buffer. His weapon has slaying. He has piercing to an extent. We are buffing based on opponent's attack. There's just a lot of things that are happening here. But of all the things that did show up, Breath of Life 4, which I think is good, it's going to be one of those new tier 4s that have pre-fodder very accessible. I very long campaigned for 5 skill inheritance cap. Honestly, probably should be 6 at this point, but 5 is okay so long as the normal pool has accessible pre-fodder, and we'll talk about that when we get to Leo here in a second. Breath of Life 4 is one of those that Breath of Life 3 is not like crazy accessible. There's only a handful of units that have it, but it has been around long enough now that it's probably pretty easy for you to have on hand in most cases, right? So that said, while it's nice getting a more accessible tier 4, it feels weird on Edward. It basically heals you after pre-combat damage before combat, right? You'll see in the timing of the video, but it feels weird being on an infantry sword, I guess, and a god sword on top of that, because it's obviously meant to be a little more supportive. But I guess if you're running it on your main damage carry, then I guess it also makes sense.
I will get what I want.
Breath of Life typically associated with more support oriented. This is what it is. Leo is our demote, which is very cool, and we love that for him. He is a bow. He's an infantry bow, which, we're getting a new inheritable bow, and it's going to basically be a stat stick. It's going to boost your stats. That's nice. If you don't want that, just go with a rearmed weapon, obviously. Guard 3 is nice. Attacker as Finish 3 is nice. That's going to be in a standard pool, as well as on a 3-4 star unit. So that's nice. And this is what I mean when, tier 4 fodder, pre-fodder needs to be available, because you only get 5. So if the pre-fodder is not readily available, really it's like you're sacking an entire line of tier 4 and then just some other random thing. So most of the time, to get 2 max tier skills, you're oftentimes foddering 2 or 3 units to do that anyway, despite the skill cap being, 5. But if the stuff is more accessible up into the pre-fodder phase, then it hurts a little less. It still hurts a little, but this hurts a little less, I guess, is what I'm saying. But overall, I mean, it's Leo. He's here. And we love that for him. He can deal +5 damage. Oh, God. He tries. The Dawn Brigade does try. Say what you will about the Dawn Brigade. They try. Alright? A rearmed Sothe is something that I think I anticipated. Mainly because dagger. And it seems to be a slightly more... I guess it's not a defensive dagger. It just does different things. Right? So, it is slaying. It gives you additional cooldown if you're at max. So, it kind of has that time pulse effect. You're getting buffed based on foe's attack up to 14 max. And you're also reducing damage from foe's first attack by 30%. And then you're also getting null, right? So it's pretty good. It's just a little different, which I think is okay. I don't know who I would put this on, to be honest, because a lot of the best daggers in the game are still the ninja options, right? And I feel like that's part of why rearmed daggers have kind of struggled. Is, you know, why would you use a Tethys, for example? Not, I mean, she's okay. She's a refresher, but you know what I mean. Like, why would you use her when you have, you know, Duo Sonic, right? A lot of the really good daggers are just preferred daggers. And a lot of the dagger units that would want an inheritable dagger aren't that great in general. So, I mean, it will refresh your favorite older dagger. Perhaps they got a refine very, very early on. You know, like a Kagero or somebody like that. But, you know, it is what it is. Bane here is going to be his exclusive skill. Which is, I think, confirmed in the FEH channel. But then again, confirmed here in the actual trailer. So, you're getting a 40% reduction on foes' defense and res when your special triggers. You're also neutralizing foes' reduced damage by X% from non-special skills. And if damage dealt prior to damage reduction calculation is less than foe's HP minus 1, sets damage before damage reduction as foe's HP minus 1. Outside of Rooker. Which, this is the thing that made me think, like, oh, maybe we're getting Rooker Sieges back. Why would they specifically call that out on a game mode that, you know, had a mild revival for a Loki meme, and outside of that, hadn't been around for like 2 years or something? Crazy. If unit special is ready or triggered before during combat, reduce damage from foe's next attack by 30%. So that obviously pairs pretty well with the damage reduction that you're getting from the weapon. But again, this is exclusive, so that doesn't really matter in terms of inheritables. These are good skills that you would want to see on a rearmed unit, right? Because those are typically going to be your fodder wagons, right? They're going to keep on stacking skills. You don't really lose the merges when you inherit, right? So you just get to, you know, inherit, stack a merge, inherit, stack a merge. So everybody kind of wins in this scenario. Potent Disarm is something that I wasn't sure about initially. But the potent part of the disarm more than makes up for it. I figured it would be Ether Raids oriented, right? Obviously, it is with the Bolt Trap, Heavy Trap cancellation. And if you trigger a Hex Trap, reduces trigger condition by 10 HP. So that's nice. The potent part, I think, is the more important aspect. This is going to inflict speed defense -4 on foe. And also decreasing the speed difference necessary to make a follow-up attack by 25 would allow unit to trigger a follow-up attack. It's going to trigger potent follow X% during combat, where if the unit cannot perform a follow-up attack, cannot perform a follow-up and attack twice, your percentage is going to be 80, otherwise it's 40. So that part's obviously very good. That's a great one. This one, obviously very Ether Raids oriented, but you know, when you couple that with something like Attack Speed Pledge, which I think still has a place in some aspects of gameplay, and then Finish is, you know, continuing to be a pretty solid A skill for the most part, now that Finish skills are a little more accessible. Overall, I think that's a really good inheritable kit to have on hand. So, with that said, we do have another unit on the banner. We do have this, which looks great. And when I was talking about it, I said 100% is just going to be a better Brave Micaiah. She's a green tone flyer.
Oh, the color green brings me so much comfort.
She loves the color green. It's her favorite. I thought she'd be a better Brave Micaiah. She is a better Brave Micaiah. Okay. But I don't think she's like banana bonkers insano. Right? I think she has a lot of good things that, you know, res heavy flyer tomes would want. Mainly in the second half of this image. But her weapon does a lot of good things, right? You're effective against armors and calves. You have slaying in it. Allies within 2 spaces of unit can move to any space within 2 spaces of unit. Start of enemy phase, you get 10 HP back to unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit. Start of turn, effects trigger on enemy phase, converts penalties on unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit into bonuses, and also neutralizes 2 penalty effects on unit, excluding stat penalties. You know, and start combat if units are getting 24%. You're getting attack res -6 on foe, inflicting penalty on foe's attack res during combat equal to 20% of units res at start of combat. Neutralizing foe's bonus to attack and res. And you're also dealing X damage during combat, where X equal number of allies within 3 rows or 3 columns. Center on unit times 5, max 3, so you only need 3. So it does a lot, right? It does a lot of good things that you'd want. As far as her kit goes, Fire Flood boost is kind of nice. Far Echo Trace. This is one of the skills that I said yes. Trace belongs in an Echo slot. B skills are incredibly competitive, right? And so because of that, something like a guard effect or a trace effect, something like that has a lot of value in an Echo slot, as opposed to something that's just going to give you like +6 speed or +3 attack, right? Something that gives you a little more utility, something based around your specials or your movement. That's going to be more beneficial in an Echo slot, as opposed to something that could be more of a powerhouse position with your B skill. And we also have a lot of preferred Bs. Micaiah is no different. So, you know, having that trace effect, if it's not built into a weapon or something like that, is nice to have. And this one, you don't even have to choose what you're debuffing, because there is no debuff. You just deal +3 damage, which I think is effectively what you know, any other tier 3 trace skill would have done for you anyway. So that's nice to have. Attack res crux is something I've been waiting for Bride Micaiah, unironically. And here it's on Attuned Micaiah. So we're going to cannibalize, I guess, at some point. That'll be fun. And then Yoon's Protection. At start of turn, if any foes have the highest attack speed, defense, or res on the enemy team, you're getting exposure and discord on those foes, and you're inflicting -7 on the corresponding stats. And the same goes for those foes within 2 spaces of those foes to the next actions. And then if unit initiates combos within 2 spaces of an ally, you're inflicting attack res -5 on the foe, inflicting penalty on foe's attack res equal to the highest penalty on each stat between target and foes within 2 spaces of target, and you're reducing the percentage of foes non-special reduced damage by X% skills by 50%. So again, I think she's good. I don't think that she is, based on some of the things that we've had show up in banners, I don't think she's absolutely bananas, but I think she's still very good, and I think she has a lot of good utility that a lot of ranged flyers are going to want, you know? So that's kind of nice, I suppose. You're also, you know, it's good stuff, and I will be summoning, and it's gonna be two summons per, because we have, you know, the 2 limited options here. It's what they do. So if you want to go all in, you can, but there's also other stuff coming down the pike. They hit me with the Micaiah right before my impending doom of the inevitable summer Golvig that everyone is very quick to remind me exists. But it is worth noting that there is some color share here too. So if you're going after Sothe, you're going to have to combat the potential 5-star variation of the new 3-4-star. So that's a thing. It's probably going to be a little hit or miss for most people I think overall, Sothe and Micaiah, whatever that weird Breath of Life 4 on Edward is, whatever that's on about. I think it's a good banner. I don't think it's a crazy banner. But again, it does have value because it is sharing a rearmed and attuned option. The thing that is missing that I'm a little confused about, given that in the trailer for the mid-book, we quite literally saw someone who is a renowned healer not show up on the banner as a midpoint banner with a hero's character who is a mythic. But also Breath of Life 4 probably would have fit well on her. But what do I know? Anyway, that was a little weird. We're breaking tradition, I think. Not habit or pattern, but tradition. I think is a nice way that I will frame it. There's no mythic, there's no heroes mythic on this banner, and it is what it is. But then again, the mid-book celebration isn't really much of a mid-book celebration, but I'll have more to talk about that when I recount the FEH channel. So look forward to that if you haven't seen that yet. And thanks for watching. Be sure to come back and watch my pain. Probably. Hopefully I get at least 4 Micaiahs and 300 orbs. That's the goal. It's always the goal. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.